What if I told you that the song Green River was not about somewhere in the deep south, but somewhere else in the United States? Or how another one of their songs was inspired by an old horror story about a man who made a deal with the devil and would later be used in a classic horror movie about werewolves. This is the story of a band that chose a different path and became successful with hard work, all while staying away from the temptations of the rock and roll lifestyle. This is the story of Green River by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Later in the video, I'll give you 5 reasons why I believe John Fogerty is an underrated guitar player. I like to start these videos with some history in the band, and usually these stories involve a lot of drug abuse and wild behavior, but not these guys. This story is pretty simple. These guys were hard workers and stayed away from the vices and temptations of rock and roll. So let me get into their story. I'll begin my story in the year 1969. The band was becoming more successful, and they worked so hard they released 3 studio albums in the year 1969. The first one was Bayou County, which was their second studio album, and that was the album that gave them one of their biggest hits, which was Proud Mary, and that song reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. This band was led by John Fogerty. He was the producer of this album, and he was also the vocalist and guitarist. Then there was his brother, Tom Fogerty. He was the rhythm guitarist. He unfortunately passed away in 1990. Then there was Stu Cook. He was the bass player, and Douglas Clifford was the drummer. Now, as I just said, this band stayed clean, which was not very common with rock bands, especially in 1969 when psychedelic rock was very prevalent. In an interview with Doug Clifford, the drummer, he said they used to go to see these bands live and they would be so stoned that they couldn't even keep a tune. So the band made a pact that they would stay away from drugs and alcohol. Back then, a lot of bands were playing these 45-minute jam sessions on stage, and they were just really high. But this band preferred to write short and catchy songs. Now let me talk more about the songs in the album. The album was released on August 7th, 1969. It's celebrating 55 years. The album only has 9 songs. It's about 29 minutes long. The band were also known to play cover songs on their albums, but this album has mostly original songs written by John Fogerty and one cover song that I will talk about in a minute. When you listen to this album, it almost sounds like a greatest hits compilation. I would say about half the album is very recognizable, even if you're someone who never really listened to their albums that much. Let me talk more about some of the key tracks. The album opens with Green River. This is one of the most popular songs and was released as a single in July in 1969 with Commotion as the B-side, which is track number 2, and I'll talk about that song next. The song was very popular and peaked number 2 on the charts. It was kept out of the number 1 spot by another song, though. That song was Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Now you probably have that song stuck in your head now, but back to Green River. The song has a very interesting backstory. It was based on a vacation spot that John Fogerty used to visit when he was a child. Now you might imagine Green River being somewhere in the deep south like New Orleans or something like that, but the place in question was actually located in Putah Creek in Winters, California. The name Green River also comes from a brand of soda pop, and John's favorite flavor was Green River. In terms of music, according to John Fogerty, he called it a rocking song that was inspired by a Roy Orbison song called Dream Baby. Now, there was a little controversy with the song, though. You probably heard of the band The Hollies, and they wrote a song called Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. This was basically the same song structure as Green River, but John Fogerty filed a lawsuit against the band, and it was settled out of court. The song also has been used in popular culture over the years, such as an episode of King of the Hill when Hank Hill gets in a lawnmower race. This brings us to the song Commotion, which was the B-side to the Green River single. The song also reached number 30 as a B-side. The song has an interesting story. Whereas the A-side of the song is based in California, this song is based in New York. But not the seedy, drug-fueled lifestyle of the hippies of New York. The song was much more wholesome. It was about the traffic, the highways, the hustle and bustle of the city life. According to John Fogerty, the song's rhythm matches the beat of a train. He also said it was one of the more upbeat songs and mentioned the song Sing, 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 a song from 1936 that was written by Louis Prima. He compared it to those big band songs from the 30s. In addition, he added that the song also had a country western influence as well. The album also had a big hit called Bad Moon Rising, possibly the most recognizable song from the album for a number of reasons. This was the lead single. It was released 4 months before the album. It reached number 2 in the US and number 1 in the UK. The song Bad Moon Rising is a song that meant to be taken as a warning that there was something bad outside. They used the weather as a metaphor to convey this point. According to John Fogerty, he was inspired by the 1941 film based on the book The Devil and Daniel Webster, and the movie was named All That Money Could Buy. In that movie, there's a scene where there's a hurricane. It destroys the crops of everyone in the small town, except for one man named Jabez Stone, who had a deal with the devil in exchange for material wealth. The song has been covered many times and used in pop culture over the years, but my favorite use of it was the movie An American Werewolf in London. And the song plays when the character David nears the moment of changing to the werewolf. There's another big song from the album called Lodi. It was the B-side to Bad Moon Rising. The song was also released before the album. The song is about a struggling musician who ends up playing his gigs in a small town named Lodi in California. He plays a few bars, but afterwards he doesn't have enough money for a bus fare. So that's the meaning behind the chorus when John Fogerty sings, "Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again." As I said before, there was one cover song on the album. That's the last song on the album. The song is called Nighttime is the Right Time. It was a rhythm and blues song originally recorded by Nappy Brown in 1957. The song has been covered over the years by Ray Charles, and James Brown, and The Animals. Now, here are 5 reasons why I believe that John Fogerty is an underrated guitar player. The first reason is his versatile playing style. John Fogerty's guitar playing in the album shows his ability to blend various genres seamlessly, from rock and blues to country. So, for example, he shows this off on the title track Green River, which has a mix of swamp rock and rockabilly influences. My second reason is that he can play distinctive riffs and melodies. John Fogerty is able to create memorable guitar riffs and melodies. One example is the riff in Bad Moon Rising, which is instantly recognizable and has become one of the most iconic guitar lines in rock history. My third reason is that he has an emotional playing style and tone. Not only is it technically proficient, but it's also packed with emotion. For example, in the song Lodi, his clean, expressive guitar tone complements the song's sad lyrics. My fourth reason is his innovative use of guitar effects, such as the tremolo and reverb. These effects add unique textures to songs like Sinister Purpose, which gives the song a haunting, otherworldly quality, enhancing its dark mood. And my fifth reason is his rhythmic precision and groove. His rhythm guitar playing, along with that of his brother Tom, is tight and precise. For example, the song Commotion features Fogerty's driving guitar rhythm, showcasing one of his most energetic performances. So this is actually the first video I did on this band, but around the same time, Jethro Tull released their album, Stand Up. So if you're a classic rock fan, check out my video on that album. I'll stick it right there. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe. If you have not already, I do rock and metal reviews, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.